Well, when Anna started lessons with me, she was already fairly advanced. Like the thing I could tell that she was really passionate about were the energy and intensity that she took on her music. She wasn't ever afraid to try anything or to take on any giant challenge. She was never one to look at something and be like, oh, I don't know if I could do that, or look a bit scared or anything. She always just wanted to go for things and had a fearless kind of approach to it. So I could kind of already tell from the first time I heard her that she had a lot of passion and enthusiasm for what she was doing.
So I would rather say, when did I realize that Anna should actually learn music? And that was when she was about 4 years old. And I myself used to play piano for 12 years when I was younger, when I was a kid. But I do not have absolute pitch. And I tried to play for her on piano the Eine kleine Nachtmusik from Mozart. Just I put it in a wrong key because I don't have absolute pitch, and I just played. And then she went to the piano and she said, "No, Mom, it's not from that key. You need to push this." And then she pushed a key, and then I was like, why is she doing that? She's a 4-year-old. How would she know? And then I looked up in what key it was written, and she was right. And so then I started to test her, and I figured that she has absolute pitch, and for her it actually matters if we play something in that key that it's written. And so that's how it all started. But her passion for music, it was apparent very early on, because she was very quick to learn, and she always enjoyed playing piano from the moment she started.
There's definitely moments where just the scope of playing 3 large movements that are each bigger than any like normal piano piece, like each one of those 3 movements is quite large. It can feel overwhelming very easily to feel like, I've got to do like this, like it seems like so much.
At the very beginning, I was struggling to get all 3 movements done. Like, I was like, I was really struggling with the 3rd movement. At some points, I felt like I was never going to get it complete. I was going to go up on stage and forget everything and freeze up and run away because I forgot it.
Well, initially, when she started to learn the piece, she thought she would have to learn the whole thing by heart. And that was a daunting task, because this is a long piece. She has a pretty good memory because she's been giving hour-long recitals already, but from multiple smaller pieces. And so as a big piece and thinking about that you have to play with the orchestra and memorizing that was pretty daunting. But then she found out that she could use the notes to help her, and that was giving her some reassurance. But it's funny because I think she knows pretty much all the piece by heart by now. But I think just knowing that you're allowed to have your notes in front of you when you play with the orchestra, that gives her comfort.
So we would set more defined goals around a particular section and say like, well, sure, review that, but make this part better in these ways, like get this to feel really good this week. And we would just knock out these achievable goals to make sure the scope of the piece wasn't too overwhelming to manage.
Also, in general, I'm not used to playing with orchestras or like big groups of like people, because I mean, for most of my stuff in piano, I'm just solo. I don't usually accompany anybody. I've played with like a couple other of my peers, but other than that, I haven't actually had to like listen closely to something that a ton of other people are doing and match my playing to that.
And there were still some parts that were still kind of sneaking in at the last moment anyway, some bits from that giant third movement that still needed work in the 6 weeks or so beforehand. But she did the work she had to, found the practice time that they needed, and rose to the challenge of finishing out the entire 3-movement thing.
At this point, I'm starting to feel much more comfortable with it. I'm starting to feel more confident. I want to continue like practicing it though, of course. I needed to push myself really hard in order to get where the piece is at now. I'm going to try and continue to push myself, but not as hard, because I should probably relax before the big performance.
For the Grieg Concerto itself, one of the big challenges for anyone, but especially a high school student who's taking on a big 3-part work for the first time, is just how broad of a story the whole work tells.
For the orchestra, I'm always like a little scared that they're gonna judge me for like how I play if I make a mistake or something. Maybe that like I'm not as advanced as them, but then when I start playing, like they're like really nice and they're like, oh my gosh, you did amazing. Like I'm gonna shake your hand because you're like really good at piano, and I'm like, oh, it's so sweet, and it just all like makes that go away, because I don't know, it makes me feel very welcomed.
The first movement is so dramatically intense and kind of goes between these really fiery, emotional themes. You play this whole epic feeling thing that could be a whole piece all to itself, but it's only the first part. And then the middle part has so much more space. Instead of doing a lot of stuff, they're creating this sense of a beautiful landscape, or a sense of being in a place where you have a sense of peace, or a room for reflection after all this drama you've been through in the other movement. And you get to the third movement, and it's got this relentless energy and dance-like passion that's different than the first movement, and how rhythmically intense it is. There's less sudden changes and more like driving energy to it. To take on the task of like not just doing one thing well, but doing all of these different things and putting them all together, it was a really monumental challenge that she rose to the occasion for.
Honestly, it kind of represents how I felt about the piece to begin with. Like, at first I started like angry. I'm like, why do I need to learn this? Then I was like kind of anxious. I'm like anxious like performing it. But then at the end I'm like, oh, I got this. I'm happy. I'm doing something big. So I guess it accurately reflects my emotions.
It's interesting you ask, because she was just telling me as she was inviting her friends and teachers from her school, where she goes to, Keystone School, to come to her performance. She told me, I told them that this is the concert that I've been preparing my whole life. I'm like, Anna, you barely lived. You're only 17 years old. But clearly she realizes this is a big moment in her life, and she is very excited about that.
The biggest challenge for Anna in the concerto performance is just how much time at the piano for the vast majority of students is primarily a solo experience. You don't spend a lot of time playing with others. It's not the same as when you have a school orchestra to play with when you're a violinist or something like that, where you're just always playing in a group. So preparing the piece so well that not just can you play it yourself, but you can respond to what somebody else is doing. And if somebody else is messing up their part, that you're not like freaking out, but you know kind of how to respond and how to adjust and fit in, and like to get such a confident level with your piece that the sound coming from 20 feet away over there isn't gonna throw you off.
The Maxa Artist Award is the most challenging award we have at Maxa. It's meant to recognize students that are among the best in their age group in the United States. And we do that in two different ways. We measure their success in outside competitions. Those are competitions beyond Maxa. They have to win first, second, or third, a total of 5 times for that award. In addition to that, they have to perform 3 solo recitals of around 60 minutes worth of music each. And they can replace one or more of those recitals with a concerto performance. So it's a very demanding award in terms of high quality as well as the high amount of quantity of music that they have to perform. If I could have Anna come up, and I'm going to present her this award.
I mean, I couldn't be more proud of her. Like, I hope that she keeps daring great things for herself. When you see someone with a lot of talent, you always want to see them make the most of it, and not everyone does. But it's so exciting when someone has that desire and that hunger to push themselves to the utmost that they possibly can.
I'm considering taking piano as a minor. I have been thinking of doing other things other than music because I know that music is a highly competitive field. There's going to be many, many, many other people out there just like me who can perform piano, flute, violin, whatever instrument. And I am going to continue music because I've been doing it for more than 10 years. I think it'd be very stupid to quit right now. Also, I just love it. I found that if I don't play piano in 3 days, I get really upset and angry at everything. So I think it's also a good de-stressor for me. So I'm going to continue playing no matter what.
And I'm very thankful for Maxa for getting her to be able to do an opportunity like this, because it would not have been possible if it wasn't for the support that we received through years from all Maxa teachers and staff, and not just her own teacher, but many other people around here who make the Maxa life possible.